8 o'clock on this TGIF morning. It's January 16th, year 2004.
All right, Al, thanks very much. When we come back, Bob Bazell joins Katie with advice for people who wear reading glasses. But first, on a cold Friday morning, this is Today on NBC.
Well, it usually starts with trouble reading the phone book, then menus in dimly lit restaurants, and before you know it, you need those reading glasses almost all the time. Even if you used to have 20/20 vision around the age of 45, in my case 35, that may be history. Still, if glasses are not your thing, there are options. NBC's chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell, has more on the subject.
Well,
Hello.
This is certainly a subject that interests me.
Gramps, I feel like the two of us.
Yeah,
hey.
exactly. Yeah, well, a lot of people, millions, 40 million Americans. I always had perfect vision. Now I need glasses to read. And as the people in the optical shop across the street can testify, I lose them with great regularity. So I was quite interested in the choices that are available.
Couldn't get much better than it was today here in Kansas City.
To get rid of her reading glasses, Ann Peterson Barrow, a TV anchor and reporter in Kansas City, tried an experimental procedure. It's not yet approved by the FDA for this purpose. It's called CK, or Conductive Keratoplasty. She's quite happy with the results.
I was able to get back on the air, do my work, be able to see without the reading glasses, and actually put them away for good.
Here's how CK works. As people age, the lens gets stiffer and has trouble adjusting from far to near. The CK machine focuses radio waves like a microwave oven and heats the cornea in front of the lens to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, allowing the lens to be flexible again. The machine has been used for several years to correct farsightedness.
I want you to just keep looking right there.
Dr. Dan Dury, a consultant to the company, has been testing it to eliminate reading glasses.
This procedure really needs to be done properly because it is changing the shape, and we need to make sure we get the right shape. So people need to be screened carefully to make sure they're a good candidate. Surgery needs to be done properly, and then they need to keep their follow-up visits as with any surgery.
Dr. Dury says so far the procedure has worked to eliminate reading glasses for about 90% of patients, but he's only been testing it for a few years, so the long-term effects remain unknown.
This is an example of an intraocular lens implant.
Dr. Richard Bronstein, a professor of ophthalmology at Columbia University, says there are other options to eliminate reading glasses, especially for people who need vision correction for other reasons.
Well, I think at the present time, all those procedures either have some degree of risk, which may or may not be acceptable to some patients, and potentially some trade-offs, which patients may or may not be willing to accept.
The set of procedures fall under the name monovision, with either laser surgery, surgically implanted lenses, or contact lenses. The doctor corrects each eye differently, so one can see off in the distance and one can see up close. That has allowed millions to get rid of reading glasses.
Surprisingly, most patients adapt to it very well. They're not troubled by it. It doesn't mean they're able to read all the smallest print, but most are able to manage.
Still, many millions do not need vision correction of any kind until they hit their 40s. So if CK or something similar proves to be effective in the long run, it could become very popular. In fact, Bruce Barrow, Ann's husband, was so impressed with her results, he decided to get the procedure himself.
But it was just difficult to dial a phone, cell phone. My pager goes off. I can't see the number that's on the pager without putting my glasses on.
But we have to remember that this is a new procedure. It hasn't been tried in that many people, and the biggest question is what it's going to be like for these people 5 or 10 years from now.
Whether they're going to have the procedure again?
Another procedure, or things will go worse. It just isn't known yet.
Are they working on other things, Bob, that will help? Because obviously as baby boomers age, it's going to be a huge segment of the population.
Enormous market. The estimate, like I said, is 40 million people who had perfect vision and only need reading glasses. And it's not a minor thing, because, particularly people who are such as welders or people who work with their hands, it can become almost a crippling thing. It's one thing, you can joke about a menu, but if you do it for a living, there's a critical need.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, and I'm going to find out more, although my mom says guys will make passes at girls who wear glasses.
Well,
I think Lillian Hellman said that.
Well, I'm glad your mom believes that. But the other thing that is this monovision that we discussed there, which a lot of people have tried, where you have one corrected vision for the distance and one close. And some people can stand that. Other people kind of get sick to their stomach and get kind of dizzy. So it's a compromise.
Right,
so there's things out there, there's nothing that's perfect.
All right, well, keep us posted on the latest procedures. That might have been Dorothy Parker, not Lillian Hellman. I'll get back to you on that.